Namaskar. Manaache Shlok, Shloka 12. Manamanasi dukkha anu na kore, mana sarvatha shoka chinta na kore, viveke dehe buddhi sodu nidyavi, videhi pane mukti bhogi tasavi. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha. A line widely attributed to Mark Twain goes, I am an old man and have known a great many troubles, but most of them never happened. The Bhagavad Gita diagnosed this centuries before him. In chapter 6, Shloka 26, Krishna uses two words to describe the human mind, Chanchalam and Asthiram. Chanchalam because it cannot stop darting into the past, into the future, anywhere but here. Asthiram because even when it arrives somewhere, it cannot stay. It cannot hold steady, cannot rest, cannot be still. And in all this shuttling back and forth, the mind becomes trapped between a reconstructed past and an imagined future. It makes mountains out of molehills and then exhausts itself climbing them. Yes, life is dotted with challenges, real ones. But pause. Look back at everything you have already lived through. At the time, did those challenges not scream the end of your world? And yet, here you are. You may have emerged bruised, even broken open. But the mind's loudest prophecy that you would never survive this was proved wrong. This is exactly what Shloka 12 calls out. The mind's astonishing talent for adding suffering to pain. And it takes us straight back to the Bhagavad Gita's great fork in the road. Chapter 6, Shloka 5. Atmaiva yatmano bandhuhu atmaiva ripuratmanaha. Meaning, the mind alone is one's friend. The mind alone is one's enemy. The same inner instrument can liberate you or torment you. The question is, which way is it headed? And do you have a say in it? Come, let us break this down line by line. Line 1. Manamanasi dukkha anu na kore. Pain is inevitable. Not one among us escapes illness, loss, separation, or death. They are woven into the very fabric of human life. But the free will bestowed upon each one of us lies in choosing whether the mind will multiply pain into suffering. The Buddha illustrates this beautifully through the parable of the two arrows. The first arrow, he says, is pain itself. It comes uninvited, simply because we are alive. The second arrow is the one we shoot ourselves. And that arrow is suffering. The incessant rumination, why me? Catastrophizing, resistance, self-pity, reliving the past, fearing a future that has not yet arrived. The first arrow wounds us from the outside. The second is entirely self-inflicted. Now, notice Swami Samartha Ramdas is not referring to the inevitable sorrows that are part and parcel of mortal existence. He's alerting the mind to the sorrows it manufactures. The parable of the two arrows is sitting right inside this one Marathi word, Manasi. And so he implores the mind in this opening line of Shloka 12, do not bring suffering to the pain that life has already brought. Do not become the author of your own ongoing and endless misery. Line 2. Mana sarvatha shoka chinta nakore. Krishna begins his teaching in Shloka 11 of chapter 2 of the Bhagavad Gita with a startling declaration. Ashochanan vashochastvam. You grieve for those who are not meant to be grieved for. A little down the line in Shloka 20 of the same chapter, he goes on to explain why. Najayate mriyate va kadachit. The self is never born, the self never dies. What we call death is but one expression of a far greater law that governs existence. Change. Relationships change, bodies change, circumstances change, fortunes change, even our deepest joys and sorrows change. Remarkable, isn't it, that we need the scriptures to remind us of life's most obvious truth. In Shloka 15 of chapter 8, Krishna asserts that this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam, an abode of sorrow, because everything here is forever in flux. Now notice the two words Swami Samartha Ramdas has chosen. Shoka, grief, which always looks backward at what has already happened. Chinta, anxiety, which always looks forward at what has not yet come. Between these two words, he has named every direction the restless mind can run. Grief resists what has already happened. Anxiety resists what has not yet happened. Neither changes reality. What they do change is the quality of the present moment. Had Krishna merely wept alongside Arjuna on that battlefield, there would be no Bhagavad Gita, only a lament. Instead, he strengthened Arjuna's understanding until grief gave way to clarity and anxiety to action. Swami Samartha Ramdas too counsels the mind here not to dwell in grief and anxiety indiscriminately. More importantly, indefinitely. Line 3. Viveke dehe buddhi soduni dhyavi. Think, why does the mind manufacture suffering? Why does it succumb so readily to grief and anxiety? Swami Samartha Ramdas traces it all back to a single fundamental error. Deha buddhi, the conviction that I am this body. Most of us live our entire lives inside this unquestioned assumption. We nourish the body, decorate it, protect it, fear for it, and mourn its inevitable decline, never pausing to ask whether it is who we truly are. This is precisely the mistaken identity Krishna dismantles in Shloka 13 of chapter 2. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi. Meaning, just as this body passes through childhood, youth and old age, so too does the indwelling self pass on to another body when this one has served its purpose. And note how Krishna closes the shloka. Dhirastatra na muhyati. The wise one is not deluded by this change. Who is this Dhira, this wise one? Precisely the person Swami Samartha Ramdas is describing here. The one in whom Viveka is awake. Viveka? Viveka is the highest function of the intellect. It is the capacity to distinguish the eternal from the passing. The scriptures name 6 modifications that every body must undergo: existence, birth, growth, change, decay, and death. All 6 happen to the body. Not one of them touches the self. The body changes, the self does not. Right through our journey through the Manaache Shlok so far, we have been trying to establish our true identity as beyond the body, even beyond the traveling mind and intellect, as the self. And yet, we are stuck with the most perishable of all aspects of our being, the body. That is why Swami Samartha Ramdas asks the mind to relinquish Deha Buddhi. This obsession with the body can begin to loosen only by surrendering to the discriminative power of the intellect. Line 4. Videhi pani mukti bhogi tazavi. Wow. Notice Swami Samartha Ramdas's extraordinary choice of words here. He is not asking the mind to attain liberation. He is inviting the mind to experience it. That is the very heart of Advaita Vedanta. Liberation has never been promised as a reward waiting at the end of a lifetime. It is declared as your very nature. What obscures it is Deha Buddhi, the mistaken identification with the body. And the moment that mistaken identity begins to loosen through right understanding, something remarkable happens. Life continues. The body continues. Karma continues to unfold. But the one who believed I am this body slowly gives way to the recognition I am the witness of this body. That shift is Videhi Bhava. The tradition has a name for one who lives this way. Jivan Mukta, liberated while yet alive. Can you just close your eyes for a moment and imagine that state? To live in the body without being imprisoned by it. To care for it without losing sleep over it. To witness its joys and sorrows without forgetting the self that remains untouched by both. That freedom is what Swami Samartha Ramdas calls mukti. It is not the carrot dangling at the end of an impossibly long stick. It is what you already hold, waiting only to be recognized and enjoyed in the here and now. The old man's troubles, they never happened. Yours need not either. The same mind that manufactured your troubles can be the very friend that sets you free of them. 4 Marathi lines in plain English. O beloved mind of mine, do not add suffering to the pain life already brings. Do not lose yourself in grief over the past or anxiety about the future. Through right discrimination, remember that you are not merely this body, and abiding as the self, experience the freedom that has always been yours. Until next week, Krishnaya Arpanamastu.